Alright, alright. What's really going on? Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. Today, going to be taking a look at XLM, Stellar Lumen. Going to be assessing some of these key technical aspects of price action moving forward. Going to be looking at some of the pivotal areas of support and resistance I believe we're going to be interacting with in the very near future here. Let me know in the comments down below. Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Do you trade? Do you hold? Or do you let the price action unfold? What are you doing with your bag if you have one? Are you accumulating stellar in these lows? Do you believe we've found support and we're likely to rally back up to this, swing highs of, 70, 80 cents per stellar? Or has support yet to be found and we have more downside ahead of us, more lows will present themselves, or a stellar heading straight to zero? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section down below. Now, jumping right into it, to recap this very critical, what appears to be sideways price action from the 6th of January, kind of from this swing high in interaction with resistance found at the pivotal 38-cent level. We had a rejection sending price action toward what appears to be support found around this also critical 24-cent level. We bounced kind of, we consolidated off of that rejection toward support for a good like 20s kind of something days here before we were able to rally back up toward resistance at 38 cents, and even so much so break it and interact with these kind of higher ranges sort of up here. We have price action interacting. We have an example of price action interacting with this critical 38-cent level as support between the weeks of like 23rd of February of this year all the way until kind of the 31st of March of 2021. We have price action consolidating in a sideways manner along the very critical 38-cent level, ultimately finding support off of that range, sending price action plowing very bullishly through resistance at 48 cents all the way through resistance between 55 cents and 60 cents to interact with some higher highs around the kind of like 69, 70 cent level. Price action was met with a very hard rejection, sending levels back downward into these kind of lower ranges here. We broke this kind of 48-cent line to interact with 38 cents again, bounced in a very bullish manner, plowed through resistance, set some higher highs around the 70 cents, 80 cents type range. So price action was looking very bullish. We were coming back, bouncing off support, rallying back upward, printing higher highs, but a very abrupt change in momentum occurred, and we ended up breaking downward. This, the dreaded 19th of May here, the big sell-off that we were kind of still consolidating from, sending price action plummeting through all this potential support between 60 cents, 55 cents, 48 cents, all the way to this 38-cent level again. So we have price action between the 19th of May and then kind of the sort of like 5th or like 7th of June rather, the 19th of May to 7th of June, we have price action consolidating in such a manner near this very critical 38-cent level. But price action was very much bearish enough to kind of break it and retested, I believe, as resistance briefly on the kind of 6th and 7th of June there. We have that break downward and kind of retest of 38 cents as resistance on that 6th of 7th. And so we do see appearing to be continuing downward from that rejection to potential support at now 24 cents. And so price action in a very pivotal state, attempting to interact with this very key support level. These swings, like these wicks on the 22nd of June here and the kind of like 26th, are a tad short-term bearish in my opinion, and perhaps could bring price action past potential support at 24 cents, although we could be a lot more short-term bullish if price action does hold at this level. But when we consider EngineeringRobo, along with the fettuccine, zucchini lines of bikinis and zucchinis again, we can see a new perspective come into play here. We have the 0.236 Fibonacci line at 21 cents, which is going to be a more bullish bearish target. Say we fail to hold 24 cents, that could bring price action plummeting down toward this 21-cent level. Finding support at that range, we can kind of be more like short-term kind of bullish, I do believe, as that would be a rather nice higher low relative to that wick on the 22nd of June. So price action finding support above 21 cents will be bullish in the kind of midterm. Price action finding support at 24 cents will be bullish in the short term. But once we do find support, there appears to be a bit of significant resistance present at 32 cents, that 0.382 Fibonacci level. Just above that is my 38 cents resistance. and which does seem to be correlating currently with the 200 daily moving average. Price action below the 200 daily is going to suggest increased sell pressure present at the moment. So consolidation does have a tendency to break downward with this very increased sell pressure present. We have EngineeringRobo bearish against USDT, suggesting as well some increased sell pressure. So we do have some very high technical reasons to be a tad bearish in the short term, although I do believe fundamentally we are quite bullish still in the long term. And once support is found, we will likely see these highs 70-80 cents that we came from not too long ago. So price action in a pivotal point. Are we bullish? Are we bearish? Have we found support? Are we going to break through? Are we going to interact with the 0.236? There's lots going on. But when we consider XLM against the price of Bitcoin, we can see a new perspective come into play here. Price action attempting to find support as well against the price of Bitcoin. We do have price action interacting with this very pivotal 751 Satoshi level moving forward. This is going to be our sort of like last short-term bullish hope for potential support here at this range. Price action that fails to hold will bring us down to this lower range above 627 Satoshi that we see price action kind of trapped in from the 10th of March all the way to the 4th of April. We even have this 23rd of February of 2021 wick down into this lower zone. Price action finding support at this crucial 750 Satoshi level. We can be more short-term bullish here and expect perhaps a little short-term recovery to occur, although we could very well be bearish enough to get slapped into this lower zone that we found price action consolidating between, and look for potential support above 671 Satoshi. So price action in a very critical spot at the moment, attempting to find support. A new perspective comes into play when we consider EngineeringRobo, along with the fettuccine, zucchini, bikini lines of Illuminati geometry and Illuminati again. We can see new perspective coming into play here. We can see price action correlating with that 750 support level. The 0.236 Fibonacci line just below kind of that just below that 670 Satoshi level there is going to be that 0.236 line at 656 Satoshi, suggesting more significant support potentially at that range if we are bearish enough to kind of come down to it. Say we fail to hold 750 Satoshi, I do believe we are likely to find support at that 0.236 level and then find our way kind of back upward. Once we do find support, we have a tad bit of resistance at the 0.382 Fibonacci level. 839 Satoshi is going to be a significant sell point moving forward, I believe. In addition to price action being below this 200 daily moving average against the price of Bitcoin is a tad bearish in the sort of like midterm here, perhaps increasing some suggesting some increased sell pressure present at the moment. We have that sell for as well, EngineeringRobo bearish on XLM against Bitcoin. So we do have some very high technical reasons to be a tad short-term bearish, and we could very well expect some short-term downside moving forward. Although the fundamentals in play and the demand for XLM at these levels, I do believe, are still quite high, and we could bottom out at at any time here. Fundamentally, long term, I do believe we are quite bullish, but technically, perhaps some more consolidation, some more downside, and some more lows might present themselves moving forward before we can see these kind of ridiculous highs again that we came from not too long ago. Lots going on with XLM against the price of Bitcoin, but when we consider Bitcoin against USDT, we can see a new perspective come into play. When we consider interaction with these very critical, very pivotal, very crucial 0.5 fettuccine level, the $34,318 seeming to have slapped price action downward. If that level is confirmed as resistance, then we will likely see that 32K level, and then we will have to attempt to see if support can be found. Now, I do have some bearish targets still in play here, all the way down to a cripplingly jarring low of $18,195 per Bitcoin at that 0.236 Fibonacci line. I do believe that is going to be a very bullish point of accumulation, a very aggressive, bottom that could form at that level if we are so bearish enough to get to it. My short-term kind of like lowest target here is going to be the 0.382 Fibonacci level at 27,100. I can still be bullish long-term on Bitcoin accumulating at that range, as I do believe that would be very healthy for the trend in the long term. Although support could very much be found above 32K here, and we could start rallying back upward kind of very soon. I do believe bottom is approaching. Support is attempting to be found. There is a very high demand for Bitcoin at these levels. But price action below that 200 daily moving average again, and the sell for against USDT here on Bitcoin does suggest some very high technical sell pressure, which is what's suggesting this very prolonged phase of what appears to be sideways as we fluctuate in a very aggressive manner between kind of like pretty much 32K and these highs of sort of like 40K, like 41,000. We have very significant resistance at 41,500, that 0.618 Fibonacci level. It's going to be very high sell pressure there, also, in addition to the underside of that 200 daily moving average, wherever it might be when we get back to interacting with it. So we do have a lot of sell pressure ahead of us and selling points ahead of us, and a lot of resistance we will have to confirm as support before we can get back to all-time highs, I believe. Although I do believe we are not far from all-time highs, and newer all-time highs are not far around the corner. As like I've been saying, a bottom is trying to form here as soon as it can. A bottom wants to be found, although price action will take as long as it needs to before it can find out where it's going. Got to go with the flow of the market. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hearing my analysis. Try EngineeringRobo free with a link in the description. Subscribe here on YouTube. Check out all the other social media down below. Let me know in the comment section, are you bullish, are you bearish on price action? What are you doing with your bag? If you have one, are you accumulating in these lows? Did you sell your whole bag? Do you think we're heading to zero, or is 6 figures around the corner? Let me know your thoughts on price action down in the comments. Thank you for tuning in, and tune in for the next one.